Welcome to another video in this series of demystifying DaVinci Resolve, and today I'll be telling you how to read the scopes in DaVinci Resolve. It's one of the simplest things ever. However, it's easily intimidating. I'll be talking to you about the parade, the Vectoscope, the Waveform, and what else? That's it, because the other ones are kind of boring, you know. But before we go into the video, why don't you consider subscribing and turning on post notifications so you don't miss any of my videos, because I drop like 3 videos every week and they are all like golden gems, especially for dark skin tones. Anyways, enough talk, let's jump into the software and I will demystify scopes. Okay, what I have done so far is I have the color management from DaVinci White Gamut, from the S-Log into DaVinci White Gamut and out to Rec 709. If you don't understand this style of color management, I made a video about color management I think you have to see before you go ahead to see any other videos on my channel. I'm just kidding, but you need to see that video anyways, just so you can join the gang and be like the other guys that are like, yep, we've seen that already. So today we're talking about scopes and I'll be showing you everything about scopes. So I'm just going to bring out the scope so we can see it properly. So there are different types of scopes in DaVinci and it's not all of them that I'm a fan of. I'm not a fan of this guy. I have an idea of how it works, but I'm not a fan. So we're just going to do a quick grade. Let me just do a quick balance to this shot just so we can read it properly. All right, so let's quickly talk about this waveform before we go into the Vectorscope. We'll go waveform, parade, then Vectorscope. I'm going to set this quickly to show skin line indicator. I'm also going to show reference levels, even though I don't need to do that now. Let me see what else I need to do. You can choose to colorize or not to colorize. I like to colorize it so I can see what's going on. Some people can't stand it. I can. There's something I'm looking for. Yeah, here. Display qualifier focus. Good. So we are good and we are set. So let's see how to read this. Let me see if I can read it this way. Good. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to put just 2 for now and let's read it. So the way this works is it basically, if you superimpose this on the shot, if you put this up on the shot, it will probably give you a clearer picture of what's going on. So there's a way we can put this on the screen. It kind of shows you what's going on in this shot. Because I don't want to block the shots, I'm going to like not do that now. What you are seeing here is a representation of what you are seeing on the screen. Let me do one. Let's do one first, then we'll do the next after, okay? What you are seeing here is what is happening from left to right on screen. And you can tell if I start to scrub this shot, if I start to move it, you will see stuff move around. Can you see when his hand was coming down, that's this side of the shot was moving? So what you are reading is left to right of what is displayed on the screen. And it is basically reading the luminance, it's reading the brightness. What do I mean? So from 0 to 1023, that's 1023. Here being your darkest points and here being your brightest points. That's as simple as I can explain it for now. So anything that is here is as bright as no information. Anything that is under here is as dark as no information. Meaning, for example, let me darken this shot. Can you see this white line? So some things are on this shot that are already like underexposed beyond remedy. We can't have any information. If you look at this top here, you can start to see those things. Let me put this on. If you put your mouse here, you can start to see those things, right? I'm going to display my qualifier focus so you can see. So you can see, you can look at the waveform that as I'm putting my mouse here, you can see some circles down here. It's showing that there's no information. The information is racing. Can you see? It's coming up. So this dark point of his shirts right here, this is what is reflecting on the waveform. All right, so what does this mean? So if you start to read this from left to right, you look at this side of the shot and you look at the brightest point. The brightest point is this white side, and that is reflecting around here. So the brightest point of this area is reflecting around this 640, right? The darkest point, which is around this area, is reflecting around here. So if you want to balance this shot, for example, you can start pushing it down to a point where you see that, okay, you have not crushed things too much. If I want to also show you in a better way, I can crop this shot. So if I crop this shot, can you see that I'm removing all those parts from the waveform? Can you guys see that? As I'm cropping it from left, it's removing all those parts. So like I said again, it's red from left to right. So if I look at this part of his face, if I look at this guy's face, and I want to have an idea of where the face is on the waveform, I can also easily click this by qualifier, as long as I activate this display qualifier focus and put my mouse on the spot, and you will see where it is at the side of the shot where it is. Again, let me try to centralize this thing. Can you see? So the skin right now of this character is around 384 and 256. That's the exposure level. That's how dark or bright the skin is. If I come to this other side of the shot, you can see that this place is brighter, and this part of the shot like this is the brightest point, which is the skin here. Let me come to where there's a white shirt. If I come here, this part of the shots is reflected as this part of the waveform. So you're reading it from 0 to 100, and 1023, sorry. And I hope I'm not confusing you again at this point. This light is this. You can see that light is blown out. That light is what is showing here as the brightest point of this frame. If I move down, you'll see all the things that are falling in different ranges. But when I come here, so it basically shows it. So it's not reading. Some people think that it reads like from down to top, like, oh, everything here is here, then everything here is here. That's not the way it works. It reads from down. It reads your image, and then it displays things in terms of brightness on that part of the shot. So if you're, let me do that crop again quickly. So if you crop this part and you crop this part, I'm going to crop it more. Yeah, let's say this is what you're working with, right? What it's basically telling you is, let me crop the top. What is basically telling you that this entire shot, there's nothing brighter than this value in the shot. And if you put your mouse on this part of the shot, you can see that that's the brightest point of the shot. So it's not necessarily because that lamp is up there. That's why it's reflecting it there. It's basically reflecting in terms of what is bright, what is not bright. Because ideally, this lamp, this one, this is where it is showing. It's showing at the top. So if you are thinking the way it should work, is it's reading things from top to bottom, then this thing should be here, should be reflected around here, if that makes any sense. It's not written that way. It's looking at different pixels and is telling you that at this point of the shot, the brightest thing there is this. So if I want to, why is this useful for me? If I'm adjusting everything and I'm trying to make sure things, things are properly balanced and stuff, what I would do is to look at my image and look at my skin tone and try to guess. If I come to this side of the shot, look at the brightest point of that spot and tell myself, okay, if I'm looking at it, nothing is too bright. That means there's nothing that's overexposed on the skin here. If I come to the brightest point of this area that I know that the skin is bright here, I can easily tell myself that I'm good. My brightest point is not overexposed. If my shot was overexposed like this, then I'm in trouble, because if I put my mouse here, I can tell that my brightest point of my skin is already eating over, because you see the reds are going over the 1023. So I'm obviously overexposed at this point. This is what the waveform scope does for you. It helps you to read across the frame to have a sense of what you're doing. And this is what we kind of use to just balance shots. So now I'm balancing these shots. People will sometimes try to make sure that they lose, people will tell you to make sure that nothing is clipping. So they will try to bring this thing down. But in reality, this stuff is the brightest. If you keep pushing it too much, especially with the camera like this, you're going to just make the image look weird. You can try to save it, but you're not trying to push it and bring it down so much this level, even though this one is well done, to be honest. Like you can see, I still have detail. But my point is, some things are meant to be blown out. Like it's possible you're going for a window to be blown out in your shot. This will let you know where that window is, or what is the brightest thing in that spot that you are looking at in your image. And if it's the window, you can be rest assured that, okay, that was intentional. I wanted that look, and you leave it that way. This is what Waveform does. Let me move on before I confuse you more. It's so much fun. So I'm going to like look at my skin, and I'm looking at it here. This is my skin. You know, you look at it, you can see the reds of my skin. That's where it is. My skin's red, which is the most vibrant color on the body. On this particular skin's body is around here. And I can tell, you know. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. Then we'll move on. Let me show you the other scope. If this is your first time seeing any of my videos, welcome to the gang. I've got lots of great videos on this channel. So please take a second to subscribe right now. Click the notification button so you don't miss any videos. We show a lot of content, color grading tips, lighting tips, cinematography tips about dark skin. People like you and I. Hopefully you're dark skin. But if you're not, you're still welcome, because on this channel, everybody learns. Most of the shots that we'll be working on and the techniques we'll be talking about are specifically geared towards darker skin tones. So if that's your thing, you are in the right place. So I'm going to switch this to a parade. What the parade does for you is it does the same thing, but it splits them into 3 different colors. So it's telling you, so it's basically showing you this same waveform, right? If you want to know, let me remove the colorize, for example. Look at the shape of the waveform, right? Let's go to the parade and remove the colorize too. If you look at the shape and you look at this shape, it's same thing. The only difference is that this one is squished together because it's trying to accommodate 3 different scopes and 3 different colors. Look at it. Let's see what that thing is doing there. If you come here, there's the same thing here. Okay. The only difference, like I said, and I want to go back to my colorize, is that it has split the waveform into 3 different colors. So this is one waveform, one complete waveform. This is another complete waveform. It's the same waveforms. You can put them on top of each other and they will align. The only difference is the colors are in different proportions, and that makes sense because these are the colors that make up your image. So these shots, you can look at this clearly. Let me go and bring this shot down a bit so we can see what we're doing. If you look at this clearly, you can start deducing things in the shots. You can tell from this shot now, because if you look at the brightest point, like we explained before, 1023 is the brightest point. It shows that in the highlights of these shots, there's more green and blue than there's red. And that's evident in the way the shot looks. You can see the shot looks cool. If you do something otherwise and let's say we'll push reds into the shot, you can see the reds trying to like grow and the blue is coming down, because when you put red in your shots, you are basically removing blues. So you can see what's going on. So it's showing you what is happening, showing that your highlight is gaining red, and because it's gaining red, it's losing blue. Let's say I want to remove green and I push away from green. You can see the green is coming down? But as I'm pushing away from green, I'm adding more blue, but the red has gone rogue at this point. So let's say I want to even remove the green by doing this and removing it. You can see the green is going down and the shot is going towards magenta, which is what these colors are coming together to create. Okay, so this helps you to see your shot and have an idea of what's going on and is it balanced. So for example, if you know that this point, if you look at this cloth, it's supposed to be white. For something to be white, it has to be equal blue, at least close to equal blue, red, and green. So this shirt, it looks like it's white, but it's not very white, because if you look at the parade, the blue is low, the green is higher, and the red is the highest. So let's say we want to try to like, try to negate that, just to find a swing, to kind of find where it feels more natural to be. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do a reset. So this looks white to us, Abby. I'm grabbing a still. Then let's say I want to try to move things around to try to level where that white and green. You can see now the red and the green are kind of close. The blue is a bit down. So let me add more blue to the gain. And I'm doing that in the gain because it's the gain that obviously is suffering. This is a very weird way to do it because it's not the best way to juggle it. I'm going to add some blue, add some blue, add some red, remove some green. Okay, this is a rough, it's closer, right? Let's do a grab still, and then let's go and compare both of them. This to this, that's what we had before. I'm going to compare that now. So what we had before, which looked white at the time, this sends white to a good level. But when I use the scopes to try to like balance the white, you can see clearly that the white is better here. This is cleaner white. This has like red in it. And the scopes told us that, even though we didn't want to believe, but the scopes told us that we are not balanced. So that's me using a reference point and using the scope and saying, okay, this point is supposed to be white. So if I trust the scope, then white should appear white. And alas, white has finally become white. So that's how Parade works. It kind of splits the color for you, and you can use that to like guess what's going on and have an idea of what's happening. You can also you still use it to see your luminance levels. You still did the same thing like the other one. Can you see? I don't know if you can see something that's here that is exposed is this lamp, this LED tubes, and you can see that the LED tubes has like this bluish tint around it, which is reflected here by the blue here matching. If I try to match it and push this one to try to match it, it won't make sense because this light on its own was reflecting blue. So there's no reason why there should be red in it. But because I use a reference point, which is like something that should be white, which is a white cloth, I was able to like try to clean up and balance this shot a bit, you know, to make it way more balanced. And that's a better looking shot. If you're going for a clean shot, this is what you will go for. Make sure your white is proper white. However, we didn't go for that in this film, but this is what the scopes can help you to do. Now let's go to the next one, which is Vectorscope. Vectorscope is my favorite one because it kind of gives me like a sense of confidence that my skin tones are good. So the way you read the Vectorscope is you look at the colors, and these are all the colors in your shot. So by looking at this, I can tell that this shot is cool. You know, most of the colors are towards the blues. Let me saturate the shot to even see what's going on. So if I saturate it, you can see like there's blue because of this blue tints. You know, you can still see that my white is still white to a good level. The face has some warmth in it, which is reflected here towards the red and yellow. So you can see if I move things around, you can see that it's moving to the quadrants. So I'm moving things right now towards the yellow and greens on my color wheels, and it's reflecting in the Vectorscope. So the Vectorscope is basically going to tell you what is going on in your shots. You can use it to create a color scheme, and you can tell yourself that, okay, this is what I'm going for. You can see what I'm doing with it already. So you can see that by pushing it around, it's basically showing me what's going on. And I can see what I'm trying to build. If this is look you're going for, if you want your looks to have like magenta, maybe you want to push some magenta in the skin tone, maybe that's the vibe you're going for. As I'm pushing it, you can see that it's spreading more towards the magenta and it's still keeping the blue. If I push some shadows into the blue, so this is a reflection of what's going on in your shots, where your shot is sitting. However, what makes it very powerful and one of the favorite tools for colorists is the fact that you can use it to check your skin tone. So if you click your mouse, if you come to your qualifier and you click this qualifier tool, it changes to this eyedropper, and then you make sure that this display qualifier focus is in check, and you put your mouse on the skin. It will show you where that skin is on the Vectorscope. And this line that is here, in case it's not shown in yours, you have to come here and say show skin tone indicator. This skin tone indicator tells you when your skin is proper and your skin is on the right part. Right now, this skin, even though this look might look like it's okay, this skin is way off the skin tone line, and it's not great. There might be times when, yes, you do that for like specific grades, maybe like you want like a total, because as a colorist, you can break the rules. There are a lot of looks that the skin tones are not on the line. They don't have to be on the line every time, but all skin tones most times would sit close to this flesh line. So if I'm trying to get that look and still keep my skin tone clean, I'll probably come somewhere around there. Now I can see that, you know, my skin is closer. I can still try to push it a bit if I want. If I'm really keen on making sure my skin tone is accurate. I can try to make sure it sits on that line. All right, and if I check it now, it is sitting on the line. And this look might be extreme, but I know my skin tone is correct and things look okay. What I know for sure is that there's too much grain in the shadows for real, but I'm just showing you what the Vectoscope that would help you to make good decisions. You can see now that my skin is sitting on the flesh line. And those are the tools, those are the scopes I really use. The other ones, the Histogram is good. I'm going to show it quickly. However, this is why I don't use it, because I don't like the orientation. It's the same thing as the parade from 0 to 1 to 1023. The only difference with it is that it is kind of like reverse. So it's starting from here and reading upwards. And I just find that too stressful for my brain. If you shoot with like red cameras, you'll be familiar with histograms, because that's the way their cameras read. But I just can't be bothered to like read something upside down and then read from left to right. So I don't use the histogram. You don't have to use all of them. The parade and the waveform are good, and most of the time they will get you to where you need to be. I hope by now you're more confident to like be able to read the scopes and it doesn't look alien to you anymore. Aside the fact that my screens are calibrated and I can trust that my monitors are, producing proper colors, I still don't rely on just that. I make sure that I check my waveforms, I check my Vectorscope, I check the parade. Every other time as I'm making adjustments, I'm looking at it. Like my eyes are going there. Whenever you see me coloring and I'm looking down and I'm looking up, my eyes are basically going to, all my scopes. It might be a lot to take in at the beginning, but I promise you that if you take your time and watch this video, you can slow it down, just pause it, practice, and then come back to it, and you'll find out how easy it is. To be honest, guys, I'm very tired. I've been filming like all night and I've made like 5-6 videos. So in case you have not subscribed to my channel, this is the best time to stop and please subscribe, because I am drained. But I love doing this. I love making videos to like show you guys that color grading is fun. It's not as difficult. DaVinci Resolve is chilling. Just drop your Premiere Pro, your Final Cut, and come use DaVinci Resolve. Are you a cinematographer, a colorist, or you just love to light? Or you are like someone like me that loves to watch YouTube even if you know what you're doing already. But that's enough talk now. I need to jump into bed. I hope to see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll be brighter then. I apologize if I look weird. I apologize if it shows on my face or my delivery. I just didn't want to procrastinate and I wanted to make this video for you guys even if I was very drained and tired. So I'm going to jump into bed now. But before I wake up, I hope you have seen this video, I hope you're commenting, and I hope you're watching and practicing, and you don't ever stop coloring. I'll be looking forward to see you again. So take care for now, and bye-bye.